Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. Today we'll be looking at the top 10 unknown secrets of the most famous presidential house in the world, the White House. From secret tunnels and an indoor pool that's been covered up for 50 years, we're going to gamble that you're going to learn a few things from this list. Number 10. Under attack. The White House was burned by the British in 1814, but that wasn't the last time it was under attack. In 1841, it was attacked by its own citizens. Then President John Tyler vetoed a bill that people say could have saved the economy. They gathered outside with guns while the president sat inside with his family with no protection. Luckily, the mob didn't breach the house, and Tyler continued to govern until the end of his administration. Not too long ago, in 1994, a man named Francisco Martin Duran raced to the executive mansion, opening fire with an assault rifle. He was taken down by two civilians, though he claimed in court that he was trying to destroy an alien mist and save the world. Those close to him said he was faking insanity and just really hated the government, President Bill Clinton in particular. Clinton already had another scare just weeks before that when Frank Corder had crashed a plane into the White House lawn, dying on impact. Finally, in 2011, a conspiracy theorist named Oscar Ortega Hernandez parked just 650 yards away to shoot into the White House in hopes of assassinating President Barack Obama, who he claimed was the Antichrist. He escaped on foot after crashing his car while the White House remained undisturbed. It wasn't until days later when a maid found a broken window that they searched for and arrested Oscar. Number 9. 1,300 uniformed Secret Service officers. Though the Secret Service gets all the limelight, appearing in TV shows and movies, the uniformed division of the service has most of the work. The Secret Service takes care of the president and his family, but the uniformed officers protect the entire White House. They started in 1922 and combined with the Secret Service in 1930. There are over 1,300 of them with a variety of responsibilities, including watching over the U.S. Naval Observatory, where the Vice President lives, and diplomatic missions across the Capitol. Number 8. Bring your own food. Though becoming president seems like an all-inclusive stay in the most historic home of America, it actually only includes rent. The president must pay for all of his and his family's personal meals, regardless if he eats at the White House or elsewhere. One small caveat is that the White House chefs are paid for by the government. Other than that, the president actually pays for a lot of their own things, even simple things like toothpaste. Number 7. It was almost torn down. Many know the struggles of owning an old house. You're constantly shaking your fist in the air at the previous owner who cut corners in renovating and restoring it. Now imagine the White House, hundreds of years old, going through quick and reckless additions of new features for decades. This could be why, when 1945 came along, the place was almost to the point of being dangerous. During President Harry Truman's term, a chandelier fell and nearly crushed his wife and friends. His wife's piano later started to sink into the floor, and the constant movements of the house made the president call in a team of inspectors. There was talk of tearing the whole thing down while Truman lived across the street. In the end, Truman fiercely opposed the tearing down of so much tradition, and the White House was gutted and renovated. Number 6. People have died there. A house that old is bound to have a few spirits roaming around, especially considering how old some presidents are when they're elected. There are several presidents and first ladies who have died in the White House. In fact, a total of 10 people have died inside. Most notably, 2 presidents have died there, William Harrison and Zachary Taylor. 3 first ladies, Letitia Tyler, Caroline Harrison, and Ellen Wilson, and Willie Lincoln, son of Abraham Lincoln. Number 5. It almost changed colors. In 1941, Pearl Harbor really concerned the Secret Service, and they were reaching for ideas of how to keep President FDR safe. Some thought about surrounding the White House with a sandbag barricade. Others offered men with machine guns on the roof. and even airlocks to seal the building. Frankly, these were the tamest of ideas. Some officials suggested rebuilding the whole house away from the coast, while others wanted the house painted black or camouflage. Instead, they just increased security and closed the White House to visitors. They even started a bomb shelter and found a temporary bunker vault in the Treasury Department to which they connected a tunnel from the White House. Luckily, the White House remained safe. Number 4. Skeletons in the closet. The 29th president, Warren G. Harding himself, knew he wasn't fit for the job, and he was even man enough to say so with this quote, "I am not fit for this office and should never have been here." Doesn't leave much to interpret, huh? He had a list of reasons, too. He gambled away White House china. He had many affairs in White House closets and was overall distracted. He's lucky we weren't under attack or his head really wouldn't have been in the game. It was so bad that the closet in the anteroom became the place where his mistress got pregnant. Number 3. It has a secret pool. The White House has a very non-secret pool outside, but there's actually an interior one beneath the floors of the press room that not many people know about. It opened in 1933 after the New York Daily News led a campaign to raise money for a personal pool for President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who suffered from poliomyelitis and often swam at therapy pools. President Truman loved the pool, but the last president to use the pool as an actual pool was President Kennedy. President Nixon decided to drain the pool to use it for modern press offices instead. Today it's currently packed with computer servers. Perhaps the most interesting fact of all is that even after being drained for over 50 years, it still smells like chlorine. Number 2. It's huge. They usually say houses look bigger on the inside, but the White House is big no matter how you look at it. It's a mansion. The White House residence consists of 6 floors and includes 132 rooms and 35 bathrooms. There's also 412 doors, 28 fireplaces, 8 staircases, 3 elevators, an escape tunnel, and we're assuming a UFO landing pad. Ever wonder how much a place like that would cost you? Recent appraisals valued the property at just under $400 million. White House, $400 million. Most epic game of hide-and-seek with your friends? Priceless. Number 1. There's a secret entrance. This is perhaps one of the least surprising facts of the House, but the most secret. The president and secret visitors don't use the main entrance. Rather, they use a secret entrance that faces H Street. You have to go through 2 tunnels and an alley, and then you're in the White House basement. The entrance was built as a bomb shelter during World War II, but now being used for transporting important and secret visitors. Thanks for watching. Know of other features of the White House that may be surprising to the rest of us? Let us know in the comments. Before you go off to swim in your secret basement pool or head to the closet, be sure to subscribe, ring the notify me bell, and give this video a like.